one of the worst situations I've got myself in university was in my first year. It was I think it was like one of the first weeks of first year. I got out the club and I was trying to buy mushrooms, and I ended up, a guy in first year promised me that he could get mushrooms. So I hopped in his car. I was very drunk, and we drove off to this place. And he then was, he was meeting a friend who was going to get it for me. And he asked me to pay him with cash. He was like, all right, so we only do it in bundles, so it's going to be £50. So I gave him the £50, and he then went to his friend, and his friend said, no, it needs to be more. He only does, my guy only does it in bundles. It needs to be 200 to get like the amount. And then I realized, shit, I'm being scammed. And he's like trying to get it, but it also seems like somewhat legit, and I'm just chilling in this guy's car, and the guy's trying to like get me to do, he's in the back of the car snorting lines of coke, and he was like, go to an ATM and get the 200 out. And now I didn't do that. Luckily I'm smart enough, but let's say if I had done a line of coke with him, or let's say I had got the 200 out, and then he demanded more. This is very closely this is one of the things that could have timed my life by zero. Because like there's this funny thing. I think it's what's that comedian called that got slapped by Will Smith again? What's he called?
Chris Rock.
Yeah, there's this Chris Rock line where he's like, nothing good happens in an ATM past 10 p.m. And it's very true. Think about it. I mean, unless you're going to like a restaurant to get some cash out to the Indian person that only takes cash, why else are you going to an ATM at 10 p.m? And as well, it's just to buy drugs, is to buy something for some vices. That's it. Nothing. That's a law. Nothing happens good. Nothing good happens past 10 p.m. in an ATM. But yeah, that's what I mean by timing your life by zero. Getting yourself into such a bad situation that you can't recover from it, or your perception is always altered by that one experience. And that was just a story of when I got very close to that.
The second bit about this idea of timing your life by zero makes me think of it's a theme running through Morgan Housel's 2 books that I've read in The Psychology of Money, and I think there was a specific chapter on it in his book Same as Ever, which is the idea that good things in life take a long time and often go in small increments, right? Whereas bad events in life, whether that's on a large scale in terms of the economy or in the environment or in our personal life, right? Zooming down into our personal life, the negative events happen very quickly. So like, I don't know, you work hard at your job in a certain company or a certain craft. Those skills are developed over a long period of time. Competence takes patience and consistency and discipline, right? Each day you have to show up and be good at your job and learn the skills and do the hard things and craft until eventually 10, 20 years down the line, you're very competent at what you do. But if you make some terrible, terrible mistake, you could make such a bad mistake interpersonally in your company that you get fired, or you could mess up one project that means that no one has any trust in you anymore, or you could have a crazy night and have a drug overdose or fall down into alcohol. These things happen quickly. It can all crash down quickly. And so a lot of being smart in life and having common sense is avoiding these times in your life by zero experiences. You know, you can, in the world of relationships, whether that's a romantic relationship or a friendship, you can, that the strength of that relationship builds over time in small little steps of positivity. Each conversation, each sort of gift, each act of service to the other person builds another brick on that tower of that friendship. But one massive fiery argument could crash the whole thing down, and you break up or never talk to that person again. It's this sort of theme in the universe that good things take time from a lot of little steps, and bad things crash down very quickly. He talks in Psychology of Money, Morgan Housel, a lot about this, that, getting wealthy is a lot about your small decisions on a day-to-day basis, small investments here and there, relying on the law of compounding. But, you can go and pay for something stupid in one night. You can go to a Las Vegas casino and burn $1 million in one night if you want to. You can throw that all away very quickly. And there's a lot of cautionary tales that tell us this theme, I think.